Hi and hello everyone. This is one of the series of the interviews of Schools Leader Speaks, and today we have yet another personality with us who is going to be telling us all about her passion, her life, her school, and everything. And I can't wait to hear all the things from her. So I'll start by introducing who she is, just a little bit about Miss Bindu. So I'm immensely proud to introduce Miss Bindu, who is the Centre Director of Rio Preschool, Yelahanka. She is a passionate educator and she has been working with children for almost 9 years now. So Miss Bindu is adept at many skills. I'll just name a few. Few of them are abacus. She's a phonics educator and she received training in early childhood education from British Learning as well. So she has been consistently engaged in training her teachers at her center, and she's also pursuing diploma in child psychology as well. Looks like you're doing a lot of things, Miss Bindu. Wonderful. So Miss Bindu has also amassed a rich experience by working with major edtech companies and major preschool brands as a phonics educator. So she's also facilitating few children from various other countries like USA, Canada, and Germany. Right. So that is a wonderful introduction that I have seen of yours, Miss Bindu. So I can't wait to hear a lot of things about you. So,
Thank you, Meena. It was so nice.
yeah.
No, a nice word from your end.
Thank you.
Yes.
Right. So, okay, just, this is a curious question that we would like to ask, all educators, right? So, where did the passion to start your school stem from? Where did the thought stem? Yes.
If you ask me what's the reason to start up a school, like it's all because of my own daughter. She was no in LKG when I started this profession, and because only for her I started this profession. No, just I can stay with her.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
once I started loving this profession, even day and night, keep on running in my mind. I'm so excited all the time. And one more reason, it's like I feel child every time when I come to work. So
Right.
there is a no child in me alive till now. I'm so happy about it. So that's the main reason for this choosing this profession, continuing in this profession. When coming to school, I have worked with major brands, different schools, and different personalities before. But I just had one thing in my mind: the education has been become expensive for the parents, and there is no upgrade in the skills of the teachers or the head of the school, where there is a lacking behind of the development of a child because they're following the old tradition way of things. For me, I keep on upgrading myself. It's like whatever it is in the market, I want that to be. I have to know about it. So it's my criteria because it is helpful for my children. If I know that, it's helpful for my children. That is my main thing. So that is why I decided, okay, I'll start a school. I'll make sure the kids get whatever they want for their age, and it is so affordable for the parents as well.
Yes.
It's a concern for a parent and a child, and it is also like I'm following my passion. The triangle is working out really well.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a win-win-win for everyone, right? And this is something, I think this is a wonderful attitude that all educators should have, and very inspiring to know that from you. Thank you, Ms. Bindu. And, I think let's talk a little bit about your school or your preschool. So, can you tell us like what are the classes or grades right now? I know it's a preschool, but just if you can give us a little bit. So, does it start from play school or preschool till
Yes,
what?
we have currently have a four section in our school. It's a playgroup, nursery, LKG, and UKG. We are it to start up. We are starting to shift to the primary as well, but it is not so soon. But yes, we do have that plans of starting up to the next level as well.
Okay, fingers crossed. I hope really you're able to expand and do the same magic to bigger kids as well. So, all right. So, which year was your school established, Ms. Bindu?
This is a first year in Yelahanka, but this is the Rio school is from almost 8 years now in the.
Okay, that's it. Okay. Right. Okay. So it's in Yelahanka. All right. So now, let's say you, as you step out of your house. You look left, you look right. You have a lot of preschools, coming every year, let's say every couple of months in the same area as well. So what approach of your school, do you think helps you to stand out from the other schools, maybe in your area or maybe in the preschool industry as well? So what do you?
See, if you ask me what is the standout point of my school is like, the one thing is like we are not not leaving our roots. So as you know now, everybody, like, technologically we are ahead. No, we want our children to be no more modernized. But I believe modernized has to be there without forgetting our roots. How, you tell me, you have seen the differences of our generation and now generation kids. How do they talk to their elders? How do they talk? How do they treat their younger ones? Right? So there is a difference. So education is about not leaving the roots and getting modern, getting evolved and through that. But here what is happening? All the schools, they are focusing more on modernization, technologically wise, but they're forgetting the roots. They're not teaching the discipline for the kid. But here we in the school, we insist the children also to address the caretakers with the name and with the respect. Auntie. Okay. If they want to call a caretaker, they have to call the caretaker with the auntie. But I've worked with many schools where they don't do follow this, right? And they have to wish their the classmates. They have to know how to take care of their younger their junior. So now, even now, we assign the UKG kid to take care of the play group kids just for 2 minutes, so that they have this leadership quality. They know, okay, we are responsibility. They have to do this. Okay, how to show respect to the elders who comes in. So this is where I think we stand out.
I think that's a fabulous way to sort of instill these skills without them realizing it. You know, you're just doing in a place. You're talking about various skills and to the roots. You know, being in the roots. So, do you also have it as a more, as a part of your in your everyday, timetable, or in your everyday curriculum, or do you do some certain activities which you can say are bang on based on these skills, or something like that?
Yes, we follow the activities which make sure that which is related to this kind of things. For example, if you ask me, like, we tell the children, like, we have a role play. There is a new phase coming into the school. We will tell the children to welcome them. So how do they welcome? Okay, if they know them, okay, they can get them in, make them sit, give them a glass of water, inform the parents. If
Yeah.
they don't know them, they have to inform us first. They have to make them sit. If it's a common thing we do, being
Yes.
an Indian, right? Whoever comes, please come and have a seat, right? This is how we follow with the kids in the school as a role play. We tell them to provide a glass of water. So these things, what they practice here, will go to their home also. Whoever comes there, they follow the same pattern. So this is how we conduct through activities.
Yes, that's absolutely important as well, I think, to these, younger kids over here, because we see that there is a gradual change in a lot of things. And I think this should bring them back to these skills. They have to stay intact with all of this. That's wonderful. I know, I understand and I know that you are running a preschool. You do have plans to expand. So that's maybe why I would like to ask you the question. So do you think, or what do you think about the different boards, and do you think it has an impact on the child's life, child's career, and child's success? So your thoughts.
Definitely, I feel the same, because see, as you see, preschools are always focused on such kind of things. We always keep on having the activity-based things. But I felt somewhere after passing out from UKG, the kids are missing out on this. So that is where I got this idea of expanding the things so that they get the same pattern followed going forward in that. But completely, when you're talking about a board, it depends on the management who does that. See, all boards give us the same curriculum, but you see the difference only there is a personality in the school who wants to make a difference like us. So then you can see the difference. And moreover, I tell you, the kids spend a lot of time in the school. Their learning, their behavior, their complete education, their thought process, everything depends on the and the teachers and the educators or a facilitator, we tell, because it's like kids know everything. We are just guiding them through the right way. So I believe it's completely dependent on the personality who is there in the school, not with a board or curriculum.
Great, great. That's wonderful. So yeah, that's that. And I think what I would like to understand from you next is coming back to your preschool setup. Okay. So in your preschool setup, I'm sure every parent looks for a stimulative environment. You know, an environment which by itself speaks to the child, which by itself helps the child to learn something, observe something, and grow just like that. Even if you don't say or talk to her or him, maybe for a few minutes, can look around. So, how stimulative, or what sort of simulative elements do you have, in your school, and how do you make sure the children are always staying interested, staying in their sweet spot? spot, they don't get distracted, they don't get bored. Bored is not really a state, right? So how do you make sure they're not distracted, or some sort of learning is already always happening in different ways?
So if you ask me how the stimulating, I believe when they are in the school, they want to not get distracted. It's only stands alone in the hands of an educator. So they are very active. Like if I went to the class, I'm very active. I'm not like this, to be frank. I don't sit in a place. I keep on roaming. I do actions. I keep on talking to them, have a conversation with the kids. So there, the kids will never get distracted. Always they have a learning process with me. And coming to the environment, of course, I believe in exploring the things and learning for the kids. So our classrooms are designed according to the age of a child, which they require. The walls have been decorated, and some believe like being a plain wall make them more creative. We also, the creative wise, we are other plans for them. So we give them anything they want and let them be creative. But our school is completely colorful and decorative, so that the kids don't feel like they're coming to the school, they're coming into a wonderland.
Okay, that's good, and I would like to visit it sometime and understand and have some
Okay.
fun as well. Great. So yes, so we're talking about learning and simulation and being distracted, or So what do you think is the best way that a child learns? Not just here, maybe in any environment that you take. They're exposed to different environments at home, at school, in different social environments. What do you think is the best way that the child learns?
Okay, so learning can be a good or bad. It depends on the environment they stay in. So if you ask me, it's like the environment has everything they want. It's our no job to just like, make the negative goes and have the goods in with them. So learning wise, it is completely with their environment. How the environment, the child is in the environment, it is learning from the environment through exposure. So environment is good, learning is good for them.
Great. All right. Okay. So now let's talk about specific to your preschool. Okay. Let's talk about some features like the student teacher ratio and some other safety features which I'm sure you have thought about and you have executed in your school, because I'm sure that one of the major things or major parameters any parent look for in a preschool is one is vicinity, but I'm sure that will be covered. But the other one is definitely, the safety features and how simulative is learning. So you can tell us a little bit about, the student teacher ratio and the safety procedures that cover
Okay.
at your preschool.
So when coming to this ratio, usually it's a everybody follows the ratio of 10 is to 1. 10 students and one educator. But here in my school, I have 10 is to 2. So there is a 10 students and a 2 educator in the class, because when there was a pandemic in the before year and this year I've started with the school, there was a lot of learning gap with the children we observed. And it is very hard for the children also getting to the new environment, new situations, especially when it comes to the LKG and UKG class. Because nursery, it's a thing they're following the protocol correctly, but LKG, they skip out the basic one. So here we make sure that there is a 2 educator for 10 children in the school and a caretaker. So overall, if you ask me, there are 30 kids in my school and 30 plus kids, but I have 10 staffs in the school. So you will understand safety wise, it's like one person, they have 3 children.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That's wonderful. So, what other, safety procedures, the safety features you have, in your school? Like, you have a campus and there are children everywhere. You got to make sure that they are safe,
Yeah.
around and in and around the campus.
So each and every camera, every corner of the school is being no installed with a camera where we will be continuously monitoring, and there is no edges like which may harm to the child, and all the stairs has been netted so that a safety precaution for that. And when coming to the safety, we also train all our staff with the no protocols, training them regarding the sexual abuse and the mental abuse which is happening with all the recent ways. If you see, there is a lot more cases like this, but I'm making sure all our staffs are regularly trained on this, regularly monitored on these things. And we also train the no students regarding that. If you want, I can share the video of it. Regularly we keep on having a children's with us. I personally train them like how to voice out if there is some abuse happening to them, how whom to reach out if that is a scenario. They should never be scared about it, how confident they have to be that it's nothing wrong in voicing out such things. So this way, safety wise, it is covered through mentally, physically, and whereas in the environment as well.
Okay, that's amazing because that I think that will also directly and indirectly help with their social development and emotional development as well. That's great to go because I understand you also have a background in early childhood education. I'm sure that is going to come in handy when you talk about the different parts of development. So great, wonderful. So now we talk about various things. I also understand that every child has a different pace of learning, right? Not every child learns at the go, or not every child takes a long time to learn. How do we sort of strike a balance? Let's say there is a class, it's obviously a mix of different pace of learners, right? So how do you strike a balance while also making sure that you are trying to cover all of the the curriculum that you want? So
So if you ask me this, see, that is the job of a educator, right? So you can teach a group of 100 university students, but
yeah.
it's very
Mhm.
hard to take in the 10 preschoolers,
Yes,
right?
that's
It's
yes,
like
totally
that is
agree.
that bad. If you ask me, the professionally we are trained, like we know if there is a group of 10 children in my class, and then with the different phases, they have different levels, they know different things. But being an educator, I'm trained for it, so I can handle all the kids in a one go, reaching out to the different levels. If
Okay.
child knows the higher level, I have to be more no working on myself, making the child engaged even though he knows me everything. If
True.
child doesn't know anything, even if he's feeling low, I have to make sure he doesn't feel out in the class, and I'm getting a balance between that child and this child. So
Yes.
that is how, if you ask me, it only happens with the trained professionals.
Absolutely. That's a humongous task, and I think it's ongoing and never ending, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes.
So, all right. So, in order, we can consider my next question as a follow-up of, my previous question. So, in
Okay.
order to do this, and as you mentioned in the beginning, upskilling yourself as an educator or as a professional anywhere is highly, highly important. So, what sort of, training or let's say training materials do you acquire for your teachers and even I would say the non-teaching staff in your campus to keep them upskilled about the various things and always keeping them weaponized every day. So
Yes.
yeah.
Like as you know, the educators are the background of any school. So
Yeah.
even they are my background. I mean, backbone. To be frank,
Yes.
because if they are good and I'm on a very good part, I can focus on many things. So when it comes to the educator, I keep on upskilling them. We keep on giving them a constant trainings regarding whatever, because we know we not push everything on a single go. If you ask me, the all schools usually they do the training session happens in the month of April and May. So because June the session is starting up, and they will not touch the teachers, they'll not talk to the teachers till the April and May. But in my center, it is not happening like that. I make sure there is a three connects with teacher every Saturdays, at least 1 hour, to get the feedback of a teachers about a child, giving them ideas, giving them a trainings regarding what are to be done related to the curriculum, related to their activities, related to their development. So constantly, it's a never-ending process for them every Saturdays. So we will have a meeting. We will we will arrange for a training sessions for them. So in a month, I all my teachers will undergo at least two trainings, at least.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's great. Yeah, that's I think consistent and that intensity is also amazing. So great. So right. So now you're talking about upskilling your teachers, right? But in the first place, how do you select your team, your teachers or non-teaching staff? You must be having some criteria, something that says yes, she or he is the right one. So what are the criteria and how do you?
See, upskilling or training, no, making them a good teacher, it's all in our hand. If you train them, anybody can be a good teacher, but only they have to have a passion of working with the child. I see when I add anybody, so I have to make sure that they have passion for working with the child. That is the only criteria I feel I see. If they have that, definitely I'm gonna train them. I'm sure if I train, they will definitely be on a good hand. They are in a good hand. They will get the skills they wanted. But the first thing, they have to have the mind of working with a child, dedicating to this field. It's not to the 9 to 3 job. It is a continuous 24 hours, because if they go home also, back then they will be thinking, okay, today this child was not doing well. What can I do for him to make him better tomorrow? So
Yes,
this is how the educator minds are. I told you, no, I was working as an educator from past 9 years only because I should see things things from the basic level. I have to know from the field, then I have to come to a position so that I can be have a solution for everything. So that is how I select the candidates for my school.
Amazing. That's amazing. Yes, I think like-mindedness is very important in a team in order for you to reach your target and keep moving ahead. As an educator. Great. So my next question to you is something that all educators are trying to emphasize in the parent community. So how much of parent participation is required? One, two, and why is parent participation in everyday child development required, especially in the early child stages?
So if you ask me parents' role in that, of course, parents do have a role in a child's education, child's development. But when you ask me personally, because I'm also a mother of two, and I know what are my commitments. I have to work. I have to do things to make my things are up to date. So even our parents also have the same. So we should not trouble the parents, keep on nagging them with some other, because they also have the work pressure. Now everybody is going through it, and in spite of that, we instead of telling the parents, okay, this is not being done, this has not been taken care by the that this is not happening with the child, the parents undergo stress. They also have a work pressure. Now they're believing us and sending us to the care to us. And now, if being a trained professionals, we are not taking care of child needs and blaming the parents, I don't believe in that. So in my, I make sure I don't tell any of my parents like, your child is like this, your child is like, I will tell our child are very good, please don't worry, whatever the problem, we are there, I'll solve it for you.
Great. Okay. But do you think at home, are there things that you can maybe discuss with the parents to which they can execute at home, just maybe in
Yeah.
a playful way or
So if
something?
definitely if I feel there is a wrong with the environment from the child environment he's staying in, I'll trying to counsel the parents like,
Okay.
I'm seeing the difference in a child. So I have to know the root cause of it. Can you suggest me how is in the
Great.
home? What is happening with your? How is you both conversation having a conversation with them? And this how I keep on getting updates if I notice any wrong in the child. And
Yes.
moreover, in our school we plan the celebrations and activities where sometimes the parents are also involved. So
Yes.
that let's like, okay, I know at home everybody is on phone, they're completely busy, and at least when they come out with their kids outside, they get to have a time with their kids to play. We had a grandparents day, so both the grandparents had come, they had a nice fun with the children. And we will be having a parents day as well, where we'll be having a counseling session for the parents. We will be telling them what is the environment required in a home for the child development, what has to be done, what are the issues they are facing, what can be done from our end. So all these kinds of things will be taken care.
Amazing. Actually, that was my next question to
Uh-huh.
understand, what sort of events and do you conduct, and what major events do you conduct every year to, sort of have a gathering to, make a mark. So, what are can you tell us a little bit about the major other events like annual day or and things
Yes.
like
So when you ask me about the events and things, we will have at least 5 to 6 events every month in the school. So this is the one thing is like for the kids, they're excited to come to the school, that they have something happening in the school. So we decorate our school, no, the school with the based on the event. So the kids love to explore that environment.
that?
So actually, we have got good feedback about that. All these days, they tell if child don't want to go, they just tell, okay, today you have this celebration in your school, and child is, oh come on, well, okay, I'll get ready, I'm going to school. So this is how child is excited. So we celebrate all the festivals, all the celebrations, and which is required for their education as well, and to know the root cause of celebrating the festivals. Festival celebration is like, we don't tell them, okay, this is Diwali happening up, nothing. We'll tell the root, why it is done, what is the reason behind, what is the scientific reason behind this. So
Great.
what has to be done, what is the problem happening with Diwali celebration if burning the crackers, and how the street dogs are scared about it. So we've introduced them this paper patakas, paper crackers. They loved it, and they showed their parents also how to make. So when coming to the major events, we have a counseling sessions with the parents. We have a Father's Day. Fathers connect with a child. Only fathers who will be coming with a child. A Mother's Day. Only mother and the child will be enjoying in the school. Grandparents Day, and we have an annual whole day. And we also will be having a counseling sessions for make sure that parents are clear with their doubts, so that the expert comes and counsel them.
Oh, that's wonderful. I think that is also something that that's going to help parents in an immense way to just to on an everyday basis, just how to not say no, how to handle a child, how to hold a child when throwing a tantrum. These are wonderful things. I think. To just a very small question maybe about how you incorporate your phonic knowledge into your classes. So how do you make sure that how much or does it help when children learn through phonics?
If you ask me about the phonics is like it's a best way you can make the child to read them confident. They'll not feel it pressurized about it. So when coming to the phonics sounds I teach, we follow this method of teaching them through the environment first. So I'll tell, okay, listen to your heartbeat now. How does it making a sound? Now listen to the doorbell. How does it making a sound? Listen to your watch. Now make a sound using your spoons or bottle. Now the same sounds will be done by the alphabet. Now they easily relating it. So the sound, it's like we follow the precise way of sounds. We don't tell the old tradition method, which is we make sure they accurate, and we are teaching only one letters in a day. So
Okay.
and we will start blending. So after three letter sounds, we'll start with the blending. So the kids will ready for reading within 1 week.
Okay. Right.
So once they start reading it, it's like excitement for them. Okay, I'm doing something different. I'm doing it. They're very excited, and they follow the no things to go forward.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think phonics is a very fun and an easy way, for children, and it gives them a lot of confidence, is what I have seen as well. So wonderful. Okay, so maybe just a little bit about you. What I would like to understand is, I know you have answered the question, but I'd still like to maybe you to elaborate. What inspired you to be an educator? Like you told me about the starting the school. What inspired to be an educator?
I told you in the very beginning, it was only just for my daughter I joined the school, to be frank, so that I can stay with her. So after joining the school, I completely forgot her.
Great.
But the only thing is like I feel no child in me every time I see the child. So that is actually triggering me. I'm like a very active person. I don't sit in a place. As I told, I keep myself as a childish. I behave like a child in front of child. So that thing I love very much, because outside you can't go to an elder, or with you I can't behave like a child, right? But with the kids I can do that. I
Yes.
love that part. So I for that I just stayed in this profession. I continuing this profession as well.
Amazing, amazing. So, what are your plans for expansion? You told me you have plans to step into primary school as well. So, can you elaborate a little bit on that?
We are still working on it. No, it's. I hope it's very early to start up with a new adventure again. But first, let me settle with this preschool things, and of course, we have a plans of expanding going forward. But definitely, it's still in process.
Yes, fingers crossed, obviously, yes. So, I think my final question for you would be what is your feedback about our school's platform? You have interacted with us. So, what do you think about us and your little feedback?
If you ask me about your schools, I feel you have taken my half of my burden.
Okay, wonderful.
Because you're like our partner now, who is supporting in all the ways. I love the way your team communicate with us, keep on taking constant updates, and no, you're always like we are always available for the parents. You're always available to me. So
Great.
I love that part in your team, and I love to work with you. I hope this will continue for a longer time.
Yes, absolutely. Fingers crossed. And we hope to cross a lot of milestones together. And we hope to see, Rio Preschool and Ms. Bindu also achieving more and more and more pinnacles. So thank you so much, Ms. Bindu, for joining this interview. And I think you made it more fun and colorful with your vibrant, persona. So I absolutely loved interacting with you. And hopefully we will interact with you pretty soon when you also begin your, next big adventure. So all the very best for that as well.
Thank you
So
very much, Meena. It was a
yes.
nice session with you. I literally loved. You made me to go back and come again to my first.
Yes,
It will,
absolutely, absolutely. Yes,
it only happens if that way I'm receiving it in a good way. The
yes.
giving also is going very good.
Yes,
I
great,
believe in
great.
that.
Amazing, amazing. I had so much fun talking to you. So, yes, so that would be the end of today's interview. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, I hope to meet you soon again, something like this when you achieve something really magical again.
Sure, sure, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.